Hey guys, Jeffries here, and welcome back to Somerset Hills International Resort. Now, in the last episode, you might remember, what do we do? We finished the hotel basically. We put all the trees around the outside, we decorated the inside, we made it look really nice and really lovely. What we're doing now, and I might have dropped a bit of a hint in the last episode, is we're going to start building the entrance to our first park, which I've decided, as it's going to be the biggest park of the three, we might as well start on Global Ventures now, just get the entrance out of the way, and then we'll start working on the other two. So as you can see, we're I'm so used to SimCity at the moment. We're putting trees down at the front bit here, and we're decorating it with flowers and things like that. The idea here is to sort of make a tranquil kind of entrance, a sort of because Global Ventures is you travel to many different countries of the world, so it's kind of like what's the best way of saying it? It's like the calm before the storm almost. So you walk through this lovely avenue of trees and it all looks really nice, and you could turn left and end up in a desert, or you can turn right and end up on an ice cap. It's completely dependent on where you go and what you do. Now this bit here was going to be a big store, big shop, but I had trouble deciding what I wanted to do with it, and even now, obviously at this stage, it's finished to a point, at the point of me recording this audio, but still in the back of my mind, I feel like there's something missing. There's something else that I could have done which I haven't done. So, we'll see how it goes, but for now I do feel like there's something not quite there yet about it. So it could be subject to change, but again, it's open to the floor. I want to hear your guys' opinion. If you like it, if you think it's good, then I'll leave it as it is. Alternatively, if I can't be bothered to change it, which might end up happening anyway, I'll just leave it as it is. So we put all the store fronts in, and now we're going to decorate it using the counters. I probably at some point should put the details of the custom scenery that I use. The reason I haven't yet is because I'm still new to it and I'm still getting used to it, and I don't know whose is whose and whose is what and things like that. So until I'm used to it, it'd be unfair of me to start advertising custom scenery and say who's good and who isn't good at making custom scenery when I haven't even used all of it myself yet. So I think you could just about make out the names of the custom scenery, so if you guys want to go and find it, you're more than welcome to. You know where to go, of course. All the websites like I'm trying to remember what they're called. RCT Lounge is one that I go on sometimes. In fact, I think that's one where I got most of this stuff from. Alternatively, there's other YouTube channels who I'm not going to name just yet. Again, just in case they don't want me to. But there's one particular guy whose videos I watch who has made a video entirely about the custom scenery that he uses, and it's actually the link that he put in his description that led me to downloading all the custom scenery that I've now got. So yeah, just have a look around on different websites and see what custom scenery there is available, and yeah, import it into your game and off you go. So you can see I'm still sort of messing around with trying to get this shop how I want it. I always wanted signs above desks. That colonial floor is completely wrong. You can see at this moment I'm still putting it in, trying to make it work, but eventually I just think it looks dreadful and I get rid of it. This whole building, actually, it was kind of a gamble. I wanted each park to have not just a signature structure within the park, like I mentioned in the last video, but also a shop at the entrance that's related to the park. So Ultimate Splashdown will have a store that sells sunglasses and sun cream and swimming costumes and things like that. Wild Realms will have like safari toys, and little things like that, like you'd find in the gift shop of a zoo. But obviously Global Ventures, because it's so varied you know, it's so generic in its theming. You can go from one continent to another. Um, I had it in my head, the idea of like a Victorian style shop where you can sort of go in and buy treasures from all around the world. And I was actually explaining this idea to my brother, and I found myself using the word emporium quite a lot. So I'd say things like a Victorian emporium where that rhymes. Victorian emporium where you can go in and buy things like shrunken heads. Obviously this is in the 1800s. You wouldn't be able to do that now. You know, little things like that. And this summer just gone, I found myself going to Ripley's, believe it or not, in London, and the whole vibe there was very Victorian-esque, and it sort of inspired me as to how I wanted the shop to be. And then obviously I started using the word emporium a lot, so to me it became the emporium. And it fits, because the opening zones of Global Ventures are planned to be like an old English town. So in my head it fitted really nicely. However, as you can see, I wanted to do a Dutch colonial style building, and it just wasn't working. So that's why I've now resorted to using the coloured blocks method again. And actually the building ends up looking a lot like the Somerset Hotel, which although it doesn't necessarily fit with the theme, I don't mind that too much, because in my opinion it still looks really good. It still fits. So I'm not too bothered about that at the moment. You can see here I'm building the ticket offices. The way this is going to work is a bit like Thorpe Park. You buy your ticket at one set of booths, and then you go up into sort of like, how would you describe it? It's like a separate building further up that borders, like where the park border is, and then it's there that you go into the park and you need your ticket to get in. So same with this. You buy your tickets, then you go through the Emporium, and then you go into like a welcome square area where the actual turnstiles are going to be. That's the word I was looking for, turnstiles. So at the moment I'm trying to find a style of roof, a canopy style that fits this quite nicely. And you can see I was sort of struggling, and then at the last second I found this style of roof, which I quite liked, actually. I thought it looked really nice. So at this point you can see I'm just putting the canopy walls in place, making sure it all lines up and it all looks really nice. And then I smack the walls in there, the little curved walls first, and then we got the straight bit in the center, which is because it's an odd number of squares, not an even number of squares. And you see at this point I'm putting walls in. I liked the white walls, and you'll see I've kept the white walls, but at the same time I wanted something different at the front, something that fitted the colour scheme. And the colour scheme of the resort as a whole is purple and green, but it's also the colour scheme of Global Ventures, because that's the signature park of the resort. It's like the Magic Kingdom for Disney World. It's got that sort of it's the focus of the resort, and then the other parks come along afterwards, kind of thing. So in this case, the colour scheme of Global Ventures matches the colour scheme of the resort, because they were basically built at the same time. That's how it's meant to work. And you can see here I'm just colouring the roof, putting it all in, the canopy roof. And then, just for a bit of diversity, I go for green at the top like that. It's a shocking green, I must admit. It's a neon green. It's not quite the same colour green as the Somerset. That's mainly due to the fact that I selected the wrong colour, but we totally ignore that. Does not matter. Then you can see I'm going back to the Dutch colony style building just to put the little roof bit in there. And then I put these banners across, and originally I had the idea of like an entrance way through the centre and then an exit way at the sides. And then I suddenly, because I've already described this about the turnstiles thing, at one point this was going to be the turnstiles as well as where you buy the tickets from. But then I had a change of heart once I realised about you wouldn't be able to get to the Emporium without purchasing park tickets. So I changed it so that you can go through all of them in both directions. But as you can see at the moment, I've still got some going one way and some going the other way. In fact, I might have changed my mind at this point. I can't remember. Yeah, I think I changed my mind at this point. Yeah, I changed my mind at this point. So what I'm doing now is I'm starting to build the outside of the Emporium. And I said just now about how similar it ended up looking to the Somerset, and that's because I used the same colour. Apart from it, I used a different shade of green. That's the thing. And again, like I said, it's because I chose the wrong one accidentally. But actually, it makes it like the Somerset, but not exactly like the Somerset, which I kind of prefer. And you can see I've also gone for the glass walls, although I've deleted a space there. And you'll see why very shortly, because I had another mini brainwave, let's say, as I was doing all of this. What was I doing here? Oh yes. Decided that a nice shocking green line going through the middle there was a good idea as well. But yeah, I had a brainwave as I was doing this. You can see I've left a space there as well, and I've left a space there. And I mentioned in the last video about this, how difficult it was choosing a method of transport to get guests around the edge of the plaza. So what I've done, I've come up with a solution, and it incorporates all the buildings, the shop buildings for each park, and then there'll be a generic building built at the very front of the resort, which hopefully will fit in with that theming as well. It'll be in an Old England style again, because of where we are, Old England. You know, Somerset, it's an ancient county, so it'll be buildings that fit the general theme there. And all 4 of these buildings will contain a certain type of transit system, which should be revealed very shortly in this video. In fact, here it is. We are going back to the idea of a monorail. I said in the last video about how difficult it was, and we looked at the possibility of boats as well, but at the end of the day, it has to be a monorail, really. It holds a lot of people, it transports them around, it can transport them quite quickly, efficiently. You get good views either side. I'd rather do this than an underground network, which was something else that I was contemplating doing. Yeah, in my head, I like monorail systems anyway as a method of getting people around. Maybe it's the Disney fan inside me, because obviously they used monorails as well, and they still do for that matter. Yeah, I just think it's a more efficient way of getting people around from A to B. It fits in with the style of a theme park as well, in that it's slightly unusual. And yeah, you know, hopefully it works and it fits in with the landscape as well. That's the other big worry. At the moment, with what I've got so far, you'll see in later episodes when I finish building this entrance, it fits in quite nicely. So anyway, we're coming towards the end of this episode now, so I think it's roughly about time for me to do my end of video spiel. So guys, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, click the red box below. If you have subscribed to my channel, thank you for your continued support. And until next time guys, I will see you soon.